What a beautiful day. Hi, it's Greg McIntyre. This is 1 million in 1 year. So I'm going to start. This is a happy and a sad day for me. I'm in the Charlotte condo and I just finished cleaning up, just doing a last sweep, dusting everything. The reason it's sad is because I leased it. So I no longer really have it or can use it at all. I would use it to come work every once in a while or as a stop off when we were in Charlotte. But I leased it. I long-term leased it. Well, I did an annual lease to a young guy and did use a rental check and credit check process, thoroughly vetted, and extremely happy that it's leased. So now I have a long-term lease in place on the condo. It took me less than 30 days to lease the condo. I advertised it on realtor.com, doorstep.com, rent.com, and apartments.com. And I use a system called RentRedi to manage properties. So we had the lease signed through DocuSign, although you could do that through RentRedi. And all the lease payments will come through the RentRedi system, and they can upload maintenance requests, things like that. It makes it easy to manage a property. I did lease this condo for $2,000 a month and an initial deposit of $1,000. It comes fully furnished, and the view is amazing during the day, and especially when all the buildings are lit up at night. So that is a positive cash flow for me of over $400 per month after the mortgage and the condo association dues are paid. And I'll break down those numbers now. So comparatively, that's going to pay me a dividend of about $5,000 a year, just around that. And good luck finding a stock that pays you a dividend of $5,000 a year. Okay, but it's also the renter is going to pay down the mortgage and eliminate it over time, as well as so basically create value for you, equity, or for me, and also the appreciation of a condo. I would imagine when Charlotte is Atlanta size, this condo, which I purchased for $289 and owe around $250 on, with an initial investment of about $20, will be worth around $1 million in 10 years. So that's a substantial appreciation. And you could, at the time, you could get condos for pretty low prices during COVID because nobody wanted to live in the city on top of each other. So here is a breakdown of the numbers. I've started looking more long-term. One of the things I've learned in doing this condominium real estate project, as well as stock and digital currency, is that markets fluctuate and short-term gains are hard to make and hard to predict. So I feel much more comfortable in predicting long-term gains and in relying on the fact that over time, solid investments really go up in value. So right now, I paid $289, owe about $250, put initially about $20,000 in it, and current market value is about $350,000. Rents, $2,000 a month, $1,000 down. My cash flow is a little over $400 a month, and that'd be about an extra $5,000 a year. I could apply that toward the mortgage. So right now, current market or asset value, $350,000. Future asset value in about 10 years when Charlotte's, say, Atlanta size, and we're still in the middle of the city with a fairly new condominium building, I would put somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million to 1.5 million. Let's say we meet in the middle and it's 1.25. That's a substantial gain in 10 years off a property that someone else has paid for. So I feel very, very good about that and about that real estate acquisition. And I could do another one before the end of the year. So I need to step back and consider what my next move is in the 1 million in 1 year challenge. And imagine if you did this every year. Imagine if you did this every year and compounded that value 10 times over every year. Just did it every single year. I mean, the amount of retirement security that you could create for yourself is huge. My digital currency plays, I put a good amount in digital currency. In fact, I took a lot of money out of the stock market, most all of it, put it in digital currency, got really, really scared when my entire investment went down into the range of $80,000 and then bounced back to right now hovering around 150. Bitcoin, I own about, I think, $78,000. I'll break that down in a second. Bitcoin projected to go to $700,000 per coin in 10 years, which would give me over $1 million in Bitcoin. That's my Bitcoin holding right there. Digital gold. I think Bitcoin's digital gold. They're not making any more of it. It's finite. Demand increases. Price goes up. Ethereum, perfect coin for transactional natures, through like credit card transactions. I think that'll become more and more prevalent over time. I look for it to keep pace with Bitcoin, and it generally does. I would love to see it go through the roof. I own about 78,000 in it too. Anchor has sunk like an anchor since I bought it, but I didn't invest much money in it, so don't own a lot of Anchor currency. And also, yes, bought in a little of Doge just to do it. Elon did it, and we'll see. If it pops big one day, I win, but I don't have a lot to lose there. So the current digital investments are broken down this way. You can see my Bitcoin, Ethereum, Anchor, and Dogecoin investments, which total $150,380.17. Projected 10-year would be over $2 million. Again, that's hard to predict. I think that that's a conservative estimate, and in 10 years, it'll be well over $2 million in digital currency with all that will happen in the future. So if you've watched some of the 1 million in 1 year, you know I got disgusted with the stock market at one point this year. Plus, I was trying to make short-term gains, was really doing a lot of day trading, and just really step back. I made a long-term play into digital with the majority of that money, and took very, very little of it and put it back in a little bit at a time into stock, and just started growing it and buying more shares with the gains that I made. Right now, and not trading on margin right now, not trading on margin at all, just trading with what I have and putting a little bit back in and investing. But that has yielded $6,763.58. Not a lot, but at the rate that I've progressed and investing in solid companies, and I want to expand that portfolio, it should be around $500,000 in 10 years if I continue to invest every week and just slide more money over there off some of my gains, say in digital. I really think that's going to pop nicely over a long-term period of 10 years. Cannot promise I'm going to have a lot there by December 31st, but I feel good about that play because I'm not overextending myself. I'm not on margin, and I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking big picture, not just what are my gains today, which can yield a lot of losses, and that's what I don't like, losses. So this brings me to the current total position. I'm just listing the current asset value of the condo at $350, which certainly I'm leveraged to get in. And the total value of rents this year, $1,600. That's minus mortgage payment and association dues. Digital currency investments, that's much more. The over 150,000 there. The stock investments of $6,763.58 for a total right now of $508,743.75. Projected 10-year, if you added up all the 10-year projections, is over $3.5 million. Now imagine if you did that every single year, drove for the 1 million in 1 year, kept learning. My thoughts are, my knowledge about investing in different types of markets, and I wanted to experiment with digital, to experiment with day trading, to experiment with different types of markets in trading in addition to real estate. Those things will absolutely, my knowledge will increase exponentially. And if you just pegged it at 3.5 million each year, that's over 35 million if you did the same thing over a 10-year period every year. If it increased exponentially, it would be well beyond that. That's why I want to keep looking at the big picture. So what starts out as a 1 million in 1 year could end up being worth a lot more in retirement investments and retirement assets, or just assets, period. And if they're income producing assets, so you can see how that compounds or could compound over time. And your passive income off of your rents, you still have to actively manage. It's not just passive. When people say passive, you have to manage tenants, you have to keep things fixed, but you can put those systems in place and you'll get better at it over time. I'll get better at it over time. And in addition to stock investment, the digital currency portfolio, I'm looking to diversify that and grow each one of those right now. And I still have 4 months left, a little over 4 months in the 1 million to 1 year to see how far I can go. But imagine if you did this every year and it was a project and you committed to it, and how much would that equal over a 10-year period? Your knowledge would grow more and more every year. You could really make a nice investment nest egg for yourself. And that's what I'm interested in doing. Plus, I love to work and I love to have projects to do. So this condo has been a fun project for me. So I'm going to close this 1 million in 1 year. This is probably the last time I'll be here for a long time, assuming my tenant stays long term. And I think he loves the place, so I hope so. I love the place. And so it's a little bit of a double-edged sword for me walking out of this place, but I'll just leave you with a view of the sky pad in Charlotte and the view of outside. And tune in to our Facebook page, YouTube channels, and you'll see the 1 million in 1 year updates as we head into the last third of the year, okay? The last 4 months of the year, because hopefully things will pick up, my knowledge will increase even more. I'm gonna step back and decide what's the next thing I'm going to do in the 1 million in 1 year project, and I will keep you updated. So thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in.